Every Starbucks store is designed against a specific brief. Once the fundamentals have been established, it's up to our amazing team of designers to create the unique store design. And while we have brand standards and libraries built into Vectorworks to drive efficiency, we rely on the incredible creativity of the design team to bring the Starbucks store experience to life for our customers and our Green Apron partners. We want to see the designer's own handwriting and the uniqueness they bring, and Vectorworks really helps our team to achieve that.
The uniqueness of every store comes from its location, its local community. Even if there's two stores very close to each other, they might serve very different customers. So we find that the amount of detail in our design briefs is what really makes the stores unique and makes them serve different purposes. We want to be local. Every store is in its unique place within the community. We do want the stores to have references based on its location.
In EMEA, we actually design for 42 different countries, which means a very, very diverse range of communities. So it's to find some specific part of the culture that is unique to that community. And so then that concept and that storytelling is always woven into the whole design. So you have this kind of continuous language throughout.
I think what's most important to understand is when we design the stores, we design them to be a stage for human connection. So it's quite a humble work. The design is not necessarily front and center, it's not necessarily the focus. It's like a backdrop for you to go there, have a coffee with your friend, have a conversation. That's why it's really important to have a good brand understanding. So all the designers who sit here in-house, they are in touch with the rest of the business, they work cross-functionally. When a designer starts the design process, they might be inspired by things like the nearby nature or architecture or culture. And that inspiration, it might come through in very abstract or subtle ways, but it's always how we kick off the process, and that makes all the stores different.
While we design every Starbucks store individually, there is inevitably a need to ensure consistency of delivery. Vectorworks has allowed us to build and embed libraries and guidelines that support efficiency specific to each of our EMEA markets without getting in the way of designers' creativity. In fact, these tools provide more capacity for designers to be creative, meaning that they need to focus less of their time on repeatable tasks.
With so many stores to design every year, we're constantly looking for efficiencies in the process and ways that we can free up designers' time to focus more on the creative aspects of the work rather than the administrative side of the projects. So Vectorworks really helped in finding those efficiencies and speed with our timelines. Beforehand, it was a lot more of transitioning from different pieces of software, and that brought its challenges. So what we're looking for with Vectorworks, which was really great, was the fact that it could all be within a resource manager and live within the Vectorworks world.
We use Vectorworks more as a design system than just a 3D modeling tool. We rely very heavily on the resource manager, and having that really allows the designers to be creative and free, while also keeping the design process quite efficient.
We have our library of symbols, and so all of these symbols have been designed so that they have data and information attached to them. And so I think one of the really helpful things about this is that when it comes to putting together the design development pack, we automatically will just have all the schedules calculated. So when we issue our design development pack, all of the schedules are complete, and it's easy for the relevant parties to order furniture, calculate materials. I guess there's so many little things that we probably take for granted that I don't even think about that helps us become more efficient.
We do quite a lot of plug and play. So even if someone new comes into our design studio who maybe never used the software before, or even people who have used the software all their life, they're like, oh, you use it quite differently, because it's so tailored to our processes, and some part of the software is actually customized to us to really suit our way of designing.
I love using Vectorworks because you just kind of drag and drop things into the model space, and then that gives you more time to think about your concept, how to actually design for it, come up with your inspiration. We can just create rather than think about how to create.
We have this like dynamic relationship between the designs and the resources. The resources don't just sit there idle. We update them continuously, like multiple times a month. We can really respond to the needs because we're able to do this in-house. So whenever there's kind of changing customer expectations, whether we enter a new market, whether we change furniture suppliers, we change materials because we're updating, let's say, to more sustainable materials. Let's say we're updating to plant-based leather alternatives, like wherever we're shifting, we have to have this dynamic relationship that really helps us, like not just designing great stores today, but we have to design great stores 5 years from now and 10 years from now. So it has to have the capability to adapt like we do.
What Vectorworks allows us to do is work seamlessly from the very start of the project to our deliverables at the end in one file, and that helps us a lot in terms of our timelines and speeds us up from the way we're working beforehand with multiple pieces of technology. It can be very intelligent in the way you use it if you add those layers of complexity and data to the program, but you can also use it as a very young junior designer and come up with ideas very quickly, change and adapt designs very quickly.
The Starbucks mission is with every cup, with every conversation, with every community, we nurture the limitless possibilities of human connection. And then the Vectorworks tagline is design without limits. So I think this is where we are very similar as brands, that the way Vectorworks supports me is that I can kind of live that freedom. We can design the way we want to design and not just be limited by what the software is capable of.